Hi there, good morning everyone. Thanks so much for joining this webinar on the upcoming changes to lab orders in Galway. We'll be covering an overview of this change in Galway plus any prerequisites. We will then follow with a demonstration in Socrates and then close with a Q&A. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and we'll pick them up as we go, or we'll just answer them at the end. I'm joined by Louise, the support lead for Socrates, who will be leading the demonstration, along with colleagues from across the HSE, HealthLink and Galway. So with all that, over to you, Louise.
Thanks, Damien. Hello, everybody. Just going to share my screen and just make sure that everyone can see it. Lovely. So is everyone able to see my screen there?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks. So first things first, in Socrates, we'll have Socrates, but we have to have a few things on the machine before we can start using it in Socrates. Now, most of you probably have all these things, but just to cover our basics. So first things first, we need to have a HealthLink cert on the machine. If you're not too sure if you have one or not, this is the best way of checking. So number one, you can go to the HealthLink website, www.healthlink.ie. And if you click on the sign in button, you should see this come up, or one similar to for your practice name. If this doesn't come up, you'll see something like the following. You'll get this error coming up saying that you can't access it. So I thought I'd be able to show you that, but I forgot I can't. So yeah, if you can get to this screen and click on that link, you've got a HealthLink certificate. The next thing you can check, if you want inside of Socrates, you could check in here instead. So up at the top left corner of Socrates, we have Edit and Preferences. And then from here, under our Investigations tab, we have a section down here with the HealthLink certificate. So you'll see it in here. Sometimes you might have a HealthLink certificate in here and it might say an expiry date of past, so you'll have to get a new certificate if you see something like that. So mine's all up to date, so that's good. So I'm just going to say okay to that. So I have a working HealthLink certificate. The next thing that we need on our machines is a working printer. So the easiest way to check if you've got a working printer is to go into your devices and printers, see what you have. Now, I don't have many printers, but you can set your printer, whatever printer you need, to be your default printer by going into the printer and then setting it as the default printer. Inside of Socrates, we can also set our default printers. So from here, once again, we'll go into Edit and Preferences. And then over here on the left-hand side, I have my printer and scanner settings. And these are all my different types of settings, but under Investigations, we have a chart printer, and you can set your default printer in there as well. I'm going to say okay. So those are the two main things that you need. Now you will get what's called a site readiness document sent on to you from the lab with things that you need to do to test, just to make sure before it goes live that it's working okay. So it will look similar to this, mightn't be 100% accurate, but it will look very similar to this. Something like this. So from it, you'll have some information where you'll have to fill in your practice name, your HealthLink practice ID, and this information here. Then you'll have to fill in, like, have you watched the training webinar? Have you got your printers and HealthLink certificates working? And then underneath this, you have to do a test lab order. So you'll have lab order, and you'll be asked to create a specially named test patient, and you'll create that patient in your Socrates. You'll have to have at least 2 lines of an address in your patient's address, and you will you have to test that the barcode is working and things like that. So I'm going to show you all of this as you're going through. The next thing is you'll need to send or email your test lab order sheet that you're after creating to assert the address that's provided. So yeah, basically check your system setup, do the test, and that's pretty much it. So I'll go through how to do a test and how to do a lab order. So we're going to open up Socrates, and I'm logged on as a doctor called Doctor Test, and I'm going to go into a patient's chart. So I have Galway test. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to begin a consultation. And I'm going to navigate to the investigation section. So from here, there's two ways that you can go about this. Number one, you can click on lab order here on the left-hand side, or you can go in under orders and click new order. As we can see here, this window that pops up is very similar to the e-referrals section that people would be familiar with, mainly doctors. And so this is exact same view. So from here, you're going to select your hospital. So we're going to go to select the hospital that we need to select. And then from here, we're doing a lab order. If you are a doctor doing a blood test on somebody on behalf of another doctor, you would change the referring doctor name in here to whoever the blood test needs to come back under. If you're logged on as a nurse or a phlebotomist, you'll have to just select the doctor that the bloods need to come back under. Next thing, we're just going to go create a new patient if not found. And this window will pop up if you are missing some requirements. If you already have all the information filled in, this won't come up and it'll bring you straight into the lab order page. But I didn't put in a mobile, so I have to put one in and fill in the information here. Click on next, and it will bring me to the lab order sheet. Second, it's down here. So this is the lab order sheet. So from here, we've got the first thing that comes up is the patient demographic. That's after loading in from Socrates. Name and address, phone number, where we're sending it off to. The mandatory fields are marked as star. So star, star. And we have our GP out of hours and is pregnant, oh no, not pregnant. You can fill in some clinical details here if you would like. So I'm just going to put in diabetic bloods. But here it's not a mandatory field, but you can fill it in there if you want. The next thing is date specimen collected, the date, the time, priority. These here are a list of all the different types of bloods that you can order. You have a priority 1, priority 2, and priority 3. So these are the bloods that you see here are the frequently requested orders as agreed by the GPIT. So that's where all these names of or blood test options have come from. So I'm just going to do priority 1. So from here, I am just going to choose certain ones. So I'm going to go with HbA1c, and I'm going to go with lipid profile and a liver profile. So as you can see, every one that I've selected, it goes up here to the top. If I have clicked on one that I don't want to click on, I shouldn't have clicked on, you just click on the remove button and then it goes away from here. So you can click on that. The next thing here is you can fill in this information if needed. It's not a mandatory field, but it's there as an option. And the next thing, I'm going to go to the next screen to kind of commit the order or just review the order, I meant to say. Review. So from here, I've got, this is what's going to come up. So I'm saying I want these tests done. If I realize that I've missed something and forgot to order something, I can go back to amend test and I can click on another blood test Yeah, I can click on another blood test. So I'm just going to remove that one. I don't want it. I'm going to go review. And the next thing that comes up is same window again. And I'm happy with what I have here. So I've got commit order. And then this window comes up. And this is what you need to provide in the bag with the bloods. So I'm going to say OK to that. And then this is the next sheet that you need to print off. So this, if I'm just going to move this section here. So this is what's going to go in with the bag with the bloods. You can see there's the barcode up here that I mentioned earlier. It'll go to the lab and the lab will scan that. So that's one of the tests that you have to do on your prereqs. Yes, the barcode's working, so there it is. And it'll automatically come up with the printer, as you saw here. And then you can click on print and it will go to the printer. So we're going to pretend I printed that. And I'm going to X out of this. You do all what you need to do and print it off, and you've printed it off and off it goes. Now, we'll say as an example per reasons that the printer stopped working here in the middle of the lab order. You realize that the printer isn't working. You ran out of ink or whatever it is. And you've gone and you fixed the printer and now it's working. You can come back in here and you can double click on one of the lab orders that you've just done and you can print it off. So actually I should have mentioned that. This is what I'm after doing when I printed off the lab order. When I committed the lab order, it says at what tests I've ordered: HbA1c, lipid, and liver profile. So they're all set to awaiting at the moment, who it's for and who it's order for. So that's where you can, if you need to reprint it, double click on it, print it off. If you can't get your printer working on your machine, then you can go into another room that has the printer that's working and you can open up the chart, go to orders and do the same thing again. Double click and open it up. And then you can just click on print up here and send it to the printer in that room that you're sitting at. So I'm just going to show you another lab order, but this time I'm going to show you the favorites. So there'll be commonly ordered bloods that you do for a lot of patients, so you can put them into a favorite. So I'm going to go into a second patient here just to show you that. Go with test 2. I'm going to go and begin a consultation, same as earlier. Go to investigations. I can click on this lab order this time around. Lab order. I'm going to go do the same thing. Select where I want to have the patient. Blood test go to, and so on. Happy with that doctor. Go create new patient. And this patient, I'm going to say, just going to go straight into the lab order because I think, yeah, there was no missing demographics, so it was able to find it. So you've got manage favorites over here. This tab here. So I'm going to create a favorite. So you can have a variety of different ones. So my HealthLink login has one profile. So anybody that uses that HealthLink login will see those favorites. So every user every HealthLink login has to create their own favorites. So I'm going to go create new list. The hospital that I want is here. Favorite list. I'm just going to call it. You can have ones for CDM bloods. Yeah, mine's diabetic bloods. Like any type that you want to call it, any name you want to give it, you can give it. You can call it maybe by doctor's name. Dr. Joe Blogs has a list. You can have that as a name. So whatever you decide you want. So I'm going to go diabetic bloods. Go next. It brings me to this screen here similar screen that we saw earlier. I'm just going to say in my favorites, I want HbA1c. Lipid profile and liver profile again. I'll just do the same thing again. Once again, if you realize, oh, I don't want that one, you click remove. And I'm happy with the 3 tests that I'm in here, but you can have whatever you want. You can include them. I'm going to go review, and I'm happy with this option. So I'm going to go save to favorites. You can create a new one, CDM bloods, whatever it is that you want. But I'm going to go back to the lab order section. So this is the same screen that we saw a second ago. And down here, we can go select lab order favorite. This is appearing now. So I want to go diabetic bloods, and that's what I want to use. And I'm going to go commit order, and same thing again. Need to provide these specimens, print it off, put it in the bag with the bloods, and exact same thing. So you can create all the different favorites that you wanted that you want. So from here we can see they're awaiting. So what happens is it goes to the lab accepts it, and then whenever you download your electronic messages, whoever does that on whatever machine, communication, lab messaging, download electronic messages, the messages will the bloods will come down, and also the acceptance of the lab order will go through. So if you're not too sure what bloods you've ordered, like what ones that you've just done for today, you'll see them in under My Control Panel, Result Viewer, and then in under Awaiting, you can see that there was lab orders done, and these are the two that I'm after doing today. So whenever you download your electronic results again, and the lab accept them, they'll leave this section to say that they've accepted the order. And they will say accepted in this section here in the patient's chart. That is pretty much it. Yeah, that's lab ordering in Socrates. So did we have any questions? Don't think so.
No questions.
Does anybody need or want to add anything else?
I'm just wondering who from the GP community we've got online.
If you just look under, you'll see the people on your Teams chat, and you'll see everyone that's attending.
Okay.
Is there anything that, Mary, that you feel like we need to add in that people might want to know that have missed?
I suppose just from the changes in logistics, maybe Nuala can clarify bags and all of that kind of stuff from a lab perspective.
Yeah, we will be providing specimen bags that will be suitable for these orders. So we'll go through those as we roll out with the pilot phase. So we'll have specific bags for use with that will facilitate the order sheet and the samples coming in via order comms.
Great. And just to let people know that it's been rolled out in Navan, all the GPs and locations in the Bowman catchment area. It's in Waterford. Obviously Galway is next, and then the south west is after that then, and Cavan then after that. So it's rolling out fairly rapidly in terms of, there will be a pilot phase. I think, Nuala, I'm not sure who you've chosen for the pilot practices, but once the pilot is over, then it'll be just a continuous rollout to all the rest of the practices that are in the Galway catchment area.
Anybody who's sort of missed this this webinar, for people that haven't joined, this will be shown to everyone so that they can look over it and learn how to do lab ordering for themselves.
I presume, Louise, it'll be the YouTube video, and we'll circulate a link again, is it?
Exactly, yeah, we'll circulate this link so that people who have missed can watch it.
Great.
All right. Well, if there's no questions, I think we can probably wrap it up there. Thanks so much for joining us for this webinar. Like Louise and Mary said, this webinar was recorded, and we'll make the link available to you so you can share it with your colleagues or watch it at a later date. But that's it. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Brilliant. Thanks.